We just have a couple more joining, so I'm just going to wait 1 second. Okay. So Facebook ads, you can make Facebook ads in Facebook organically, but it is beneficial to make it through command. The reason for that is we get a discount. So according to Facebook, Keller Williams is one customer. So we have 180,000 agents using one account to make Facebook ads. So to Facebook, we're one giant, massive, amazing customer. And because of that, we get discounts. Also, Facebook and Keller Williams have a very close relationship. So Facebook helped KW build this part of Command and took out a lot of the guesswork for you. So if you, I don't know how many people here have made a Facebook ad in Facebook, there's a lot that you have to choose and set up. And all of that's been eliminated in here because they've set it so that everyone's geared towards real estate to get the best outcome you can get. So it's definitely beneficial to make it through here. Also, whenever you get a Facebook lead, it puts your lead directly into your Command contacts. So you don't have to take it from Facebook and then enter it into Command. So definitely, if you are going to be running Facebook ads, do so in Command. So to do that, the first thing that you have to do is up in the top right corner, you have to have your Facebook connected in your settings. So you have to give Keller Williams Command Facebook or access to your Facebook in order for it to be able to publish it on your Facebook page. So you have to connect it in two places. So right here, you'll see it twice in this list. All you have to do is when it's not connected, you'll see a button that says connect account. Here, I'll just disconnect this. Okay. So when you see connect account, that means that it's not yet connected. So you just click on connect account. It's going to open up a Facebook login screen. I'm already logged into Facebook on my computer, so it just allowed me to come right in. And then you check off whichever Facebook pages you want to be able to make ads to. Most of you probably only have one Facebook page. I have 5. So when I go in, I have 5 options of where to publish my Facebook ads, but most of you only have one, so don't worry about that. So yeah, you just have to make sure both Facebook options in your settings are connected. So if it looks like this, it's connected and you're good to go. So then you come over to the menu on the left, and if you click the red KW at the top, it expands the menu so you can see what these icons mean. And we're going to go into campaigns. So when you get to campaigns, to start creating an ad, the first thing you have to do is click on payments, and you have to enter credit card information. So these ads do cost money. Every Facebook ad costs money. You get to choose how much it costs, but so you do have to put your credit card information in here. So you just click add payment method, first name, last name, credit card number, expiry, CVV. Pretty straightforward. If you have multiple on there, you can choose which one is default. Most of you will likely only enter one credit card. So then you just click on create a new campaign. And to create a Facebook ad, you're going to choose a paid social ad right here. And you have to name the ad. So majority of the time, the ads are going to be advertising a listing. You can make an ad for anything at all, but advertising listings do get the best results. In Nova Scotia, you have to be on a listing agreement in order to be able to advertise a listing. So if you don't have a listing, you either have to ask another agent to do an amendment to add you to the listing so that you're able to advertise it, or you'll have to do a different kind of ad. So I'm going to do a listing ad first, and then I'll go through some other options or ideas that you can do. So let's make an ad for 2690 Route 3. So this is just the name. This is for you to keep track of which ad is what if you're running multiple. And then you're going to choose a goal. So you might think that I'm going to choose advertise listing, but I'm going to choose attract buyers, because really my goal in this Facebook ad is to get Facebook leads. And the leads are going to be potential buyers because they're interested in this listing. Does that make sense? I'll take silence as a yes. So then you just choose where you're running this ad. So Facebook does have the best results, but you can also choose Instagram here. I'll choose Instagram so I can demonstrate, but Facebook is getting the best results. So set up. And it's going to bring you into the ad. So you can see your ad over on the right. So right now there isn't much to it. I just have a question in the chat. Is LinkedIn an option? No, not right now. So the first thing, because I'm advertising a listing, is I'm going to add a listing here. One thing to note, it's going to default to only my listings right here, and it doesn't recognize which listings are yours. So you have to switch this to all listings. And then you just search for the property address. You can search by MLS number. So I'm going to search 2690 Route 3. Now keep in mind, this is all of the listings in North America pulling in here. So when I search for 2690 Route 3, I may or may not find the listing I'm looking for, especially if it's a really generic street, like if it's Main Street, I would put the community, because there's tons of 123 Main Streets out there. And it's all of the listings from North America. So you would be scrolling for a long time to find yours. So if when you just put in the address like that, you don't find it, just type in the community as well. So here's the listing that I'm looking for right here. It's one of our agents' listings, Tara Lynn in PEI. So I'm going to select that listing. And here we go. So you can see the ad over here totally changed. So now it has a photo and a write-up. So it pulled this write-up from MLS as well as the photo. Now you'll see this write-up ends in a comma. So you probably shouldn't end it in a comma. If that's where you want it to end, at least change it to a period. Just take note of that stuff. So it does automatically pull, but just read it over. Make sure it's what you want your ad to say, and make sure it doesn't end in the middle of a sentence. So I think this write-up's fine. Welcome to Dreamcatcher Farm, 165-acre property being used as a horse ranch, located 15 minutes from Charlottetown. So that seems pretty good. Very to the point, gives them enough detail, but not all of the details. So now we need a headline. So the headline's going to go right here. So whatever you want to type there, something related to the property. Now we need a description. So the description's going to go right here. Something like that. It's very simple, short. one thing to note is you don't want to give them too many details. You don't want to tell them every single thing about the property because you're going to disqualify some people. So if you're doing an ad for an average house and it's a 2-bedroom, 1-bath, and you include those details in your ad, anybody who's looking for a 3-bedroom home now isn't going to click on it, and they're not going to be a lead for you. We all know you can, if they become a lead, you're capable of finding them a 3-bedroom house, even though the house that you were advertising was only 2-bedroom. So let them give you their information, and then you can help them buy a different property. They don't have to buy the property that you're advertising. Remember, the goal of this ad was to attract buyers. Okay, so I'm just going to save that. Now the media, so I can choose which photos I want here. I can also add a video if I had a video I wanted to put. So if I want more photos, I'm just going to click on add more, and all of the listing photos from MLS have pulled through. I can choose any of these. Let's put this one. So now I have 2 photos. I could delete this first one if I wanted to, if I didn't want the default that it put there. I can add more photos if I want, it doesn't matter. But again, you don't want to disqualify anybody. So you don't want to give them too many details for them to decide that they're not actually interested in this property. And now they're not going to become a lead for you. So now we need to upload a logo to be compliant. So I'm going to find actually in my Google Drive folder. So now you can see the logos right here. I can choose if I want the logo on the left or the right. Not really a big deal either way, but you can change it. So we'll save that. So now Facebook and Instagram accounts. So for Facebook, it's connected to my account because I connected it in the settings, but which page do I want to run it on? So like I said, I manage 5 Facebook pages in my account. You guys likely only have 1, maybe 2. So you would just choose which one you want to run this as. And then for Instagram, do you want it to be a regular Instagram ad in someone's as they're scrolling through that they see, or do you want it to be in an Instagram story? These photos would not look great in an Instagram story. They're not the right shape. So just keep that in mind. So we always are going to choose. Yeah.
Do you have any feedback on like which is more powerful, ad or story?
Honestly, Instagram isn't having the greatest results in general.
Okay.
So I think they're about even, but I would stick to Facebook if possible.
Thank you.
Always use this option, the Facebook lead generation form. It is a form that Facebook has. Instagram's also run by Facebook, so it works on both. When they click on the ad, this form opens up. And because they're likely doing this on their phone, and if not, Facebook knows all their information anyway. The form is pre-filled in. It's taking the information from their phone and from Facebook, and it knows all of their information. So it knows their first name, their last name, their email address, and their phone number. So it's more effort for them to erase the information and give you fake information, which is always a worry. Like we all know that you can get leads that are Mickey Mouse. but they actually have to erase the proper information to do that in this case. So it's a lot better chance that you're going to get real information. So always use the Facebook lead generation form. Very important. The call to action button is just on the ad up here, this button right here. So the best option is usually learn more, especially if you're advertising a listing. It's really the only button that makes sense. So we do have to have a follow-up destination URL. So what that is basically when somebody clicks on the ad and the form pops up and they give you their information, Phil Evans, phone number, email address, and they click submit, it then takes them somewhere. So it's basically like a reward. You have to give them information when they're asking for it. So in order to get to that page, they have to give you their information so that you get the lead, but then you have to give them what they're looking for, or you're just going to annoy them. So we need to choose where we're sending them. So there's a couple options. We could look up this listing on realtor.ca and we could put that URL here. You could go to your own website, look up this listing and put that URL in here. Or you can create a landing page for this listing and put that there. So I'm going to quickly open another tab and create a landing page for this listing. So that's also done in Command. It is a very, very quick process. So a landing page is basically like a one-page website. So you start by going to Consumer, which is the bottom button. You're going to click in the top right corner, create a new site, and you're going to choose as a standalone page. You have to name the page up in the top left corner here. So in this case, I would name it 2690 Route 3, New Perth. And now I just have to build the page with widgets. So your choice of widgets are over here. I generally do 3 widgets, sometimes just 2. So what do you want to be on the page here? I'm going to put at the bottom and add an advertisement to try and prompt them to download my app. Then above that, I'm going to put the listing detail. So I'm just clicking and dragging these over. And then above the listing, I'm just going to put a branded header so they see me and help them recognize my name. So branded header at the top, listing information in the middle, and then trying to get them to download my app at the bottom. Now this downloading my app totally isn't necessary. You can just do the other 2 if you want, but hopefully someone will download my app because of it, so it doesn't hurt. So now you just have to configure the widgets. So you're going to click this button at the bottom. And so, oh, it started me on 3. I'm going to go to the first widget. So I'm on 1 of 3 up here, which is the branded header. All of this is filled in. Maybe I want the dashes in my phone number. Oops. And I can choose a header text, which is basically like a title. It will go right here. So I'm going to put 2690 Route 3, New Perth. So I'm going to save this widget and you'll now see my changes. So there's my title that I put and I added the dashes to my phone number. So now I'm going to click this right arrow. So I'm going to configure the next widget. So I'm on the listing widget now. So I'm just going to browse for a listing. So again, that didn't pull up the listing I'm actually looking for. So I'm going to add New Perth in there. And here we go. There it is. So I'm going to select it. And I'm going to save this widget. Now, again, I'm going to click the right arrow to go to the next widget. which is my app. So I can just change the text on this. So instead of download the KW app, I would rather this say I'd rather find search for homes on the go. And then I could change this right up as well if I wanted to. Change the button. And we'll save this one. So now you can see here, so here's my new header with the changes I made. Here's the listing widget now that I've chosen the correct listing. So there's the main photo, the address, the price, bed, bath. Remember, they're getting this information after they click on the Facebook ad. So we're giving them everything that they want to know about this property. Here's the write-up, the rest of the photos, some more details, map, and then the widget, hoping that they'll download my app. So I'm going to publish this page. So that landing page, if I wasn't explaining it, would have taken me probably 1 minute total. I'm going to change the URL. You don't have to do this step, but I think it makes it look a little bit cleaner. So now that I've created this landing page, it's turned on. I can, in my Facebook ad, now I can choose that as my destination URL. So here it is here. So I'm going to choose that. So now, who are we targeting with this ad? So 9 times out of 10, you're going to target a custom audience, and you're going to do it based on location. So usually, if this is an average, normal $300,000 house, you're going to likely advertise it in the community that the listing is in. So if it's a house in downtown Dartmouth, run this ad in downtown Dartmouth. You can choose the radius, so how far around that location that people are going to see this ad. Now, if you're listing a condo in the middle of winter, and we know that lots of Nova Scotians move to Florida, and maybe right now Canadians in Florida want to come back to Nova Scotia, maybe you're going to run an ad for that condo in Florida. So maybe someone is thinking about moving back to Nova Scotia. Now all of a sudden they see an ad for a condo and they think, if I lived in a condo, I won't have to shovel a driveway. I don't have to clear off my car. And those are the main reasons I don't want to live in Nova Scotia in the winter. So maybe I could move back and live in a condo. So maybe you're going to choose to run this ad in the States, in Daytona. You can run ads anywhere. Here's all the countries, there's tons. So you can, anywhere at all that you think someone might move to Nova Scotia for this property, you can run an ad there. But like I said, 9 times out of 10, you're going to run it where the listing is. It's usually just a local upgrading or downgrading to that house. You can choose to add interests. I don't suggest it normally. If it's an average house, you're just going to disqualify people. So if you say they have to be interested in real estate to want to see this ad, and there's nothing on that person's Facebook indicating that they're interested in real estate, then they're not going to see the ad. But everyone needs somewhere to live, so there's no need to disqualify people. Now, maybe this property that I'm running an ad for, I'm going to choose some interests because it's 1.5 million and it's a very specific property. the average person isn't buying a horse ranch. So maybe I'm going to add interest to this one about horses and farms and country living, things like that. But 9 times out of 10, I would not add interests. And then the last step is to choose your duration and budget. So what days do you want your ad running? And how much money do you want to spend? So because I chose 2 channels, I chose both Facebook and Instagram. It's a little bit more complicated. I wouldn't say that it's complicated at all. So if I choose to run this starting tomorrow until the 21st, and I want to spend $30 total, how am I running them? So are they equal? Why can't I edit this? Oh, I don't, they changed this. So I can't choose which is how much I want to spend in each place. They're going to choose for you based on how it's performing. So if Facebook is performing better than Instagram, it's going to spend its money on Facebook and not Instagram. Or you can choose to run them evenly in the 2 places, but I would let it choose for you based on performance. If your Instagram ads aren't getting any clicks, then why continue to spend money doing that? Spend your money on Facebook instead. One thing to note is this $30 total is American. So your credit card will actually get charged like $38 or whatever that math is for the conversion rate. So just keep that in mind. If you actually only want to spend $30, maybe make your budget $25. And then you just click save and publish. So I'm not actually going to publish this ad. So I'm just going to save it as a draft here. So when I clicked save as draft, it brought me back to my campaigns page, and I'm on the paid ads tab right here. So here's a summary of all of my paid ads. So I've run 3 that I actually run. So remember, I'm running ads for the brokerage, not as an agent. So ours are very different. So I ran one for career night, and then I ran 2 promoting different videos that we had. So you can see how they performed right here. So the career night ad, I only spent $15 and we got 20 leads for that. That's less than $1 a lead. Like, that's pretty impressive. The videos didn't perform as well. So I spent $30 on each and only got 3 leads from each. So that's $10 a lead. That's not fantastic. So we decided to stop running the Facebook ads for the videos because $10 a lead isn't great. Although if we recruited someone to the brokerage for $10, that's actually quite good. I'm going to switch over to Alex's account. Hopefully he doesn't care. So the average lead in Keller Williams is costing agents about 87 cents. That's huge. Well, that's tiny, so it's huge for your business. Oops, wrong button. So Alex has run a couple ads. So I'm just going to show you his. So he only ran one that was for a listing. So it was this one here, 1429 Prospect Bay. And you can see he got 21 leads for 95 cents each. His other ads that were not for listings definitely cost him more per lead. So that's why I said at the start, listing ads definitely perform the best. But you can run ads for other things. I mean, $2.50 per lead is still pretty good. Like, he got 12 leads for $30, and this one wasn't for a listing. It is pretty good. So all you have to do once you start getting leads is you click right here and it brings you into your contacts, showing you the leads that came from that ad. Also, it is important to have, so here's all the leads we got from Career Night. So super simple to come in and find your leads. Then you can click on them and it takes you right into the contact portion of Command. You can see in their contact what ad they came from. And in your contacts, this little L next to somebody's name indicates that they were a lead. So that's whether they came in as a Facebook lead, they created an account on your app or your website, or they filled out a form on a landing page. Any way that they came in here, they'll be indicated as a lead. So I'm going to show you, any questions?
I don't have a question. I'm hoping this doesn't feedback, but something I've noticed, and I'm still working on myself personally, and Jason Abrams, who's a big agent in the States, was talking about yesterday, is these leads are extremely cold. And he said something like, do not propose to them and expect a wedding on the first day. You have to date them for a while. They have no clue who you are. They don't trust you a bit. So it may take a few months to get one of these people to agree to a meeting or view a home or whatever. But just something to keep in mind for whenever these leads come in. And 90% of them aren't going to answer you because they're just being nosy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it was actually Nick Baldwin who said that, but I posted it in our Facebook group. I'm just going to quickly read it to you. So he said, one piece of advice when generating and working Facebook opportunities: don't go for the marriage proposal before going on a few dates first. What I mean by that is Facebook opportunities tend to be longer nurtures. Many are not pre-approved. They need more guidance and handholding. They are hesitant and need you to be patient. Provide trust and value, and you will see the relationship evolve. Eventually, they will want all their friends to marry you as well. So these people don't know who you are. When they click on your ad, they don't even really realize that they're giving you their information. So then when you reach out and say, oh, did you want to see this house? They're like, what are you talking about? No, like, I don't know what you're talking about. They're very cold leads. They have to be worked. So you really need to be setting up smart plans for these leads. So smart plans are automated touches, whether it's emails or texts that go out to them, or scheduling phone calls for you to actually call them. You really need to put your leads on smart plans, or you're just wasting your money. It's such a cold lead. They're not going to click on your ad and then pick up the phone and call you and say, I'd love to see this house. It's not going to happen. You have to keep in touch with them. And even when you put them on a smart plan, they're probably going to ignore you for at least a month, if not 3. And then as the idea of buying a new home festers with them and they think, yeah, you know what, I think it's time we should go start looking at houses, they're going to say, oh, that Alex guy's been emailing me. Maybe I should just reach out to him. And then they actually reply to one of your emails. Yeah, Phil's right, Sven. It'll be posted on our YouTube link after it's done, probably later today or tomorrow. Thanks, Phil. So I'm just going to show you this ad that Alex ran here. So like I said, in Nova Scotia, we're not able to advertise other agents' listings. So that does create a problem for anyone without a listing. So this is an ad that Alex ran, and it performed decently well, not as well as actually advertising a listing, but it is something you can do in the meantime. So let's duplicate this one. You can also, there's a duplicate button. So if you had an ad that ran really well, you can duplicate it and do it again. You can also pause leads. So pause campaigns. So if you have a campaign running and you're not getting any leads from it at all, stop it. Stop wasting your money. You don't need to spend the full $30 that you said you were going to spend. Keep in mind, if you do that, you're still going to get charged the full $30, but you'll have a credit in your account for the next time you run an ad. Okay, so this ad here is not advertising a listing. So basically, he went to his website. I'll show you. So he went to his website and he searched the community prospect. He placed the map where he was trying to focus. So like there. So all of these search results for listings are in this portion of the map. So then he advertised this URL. So this was the destination URL to give them these search results, this area of the map, okay? So he named it Prospect Listings. Again, that's really just for you so you know what ad it is. There's no listing selected. Add text. So looking to buy a home in the prospect communities. Oh, one thing I didn't mention, emojis are super important. Ads with emojis get way more clicks than ads without emojis. So make sure you're throwing emojis in there. So just looking to buy a home in Prospect, make Prospect home, see properties for sale in the Prospect community. So basically telling them when you click on this ad, you're going to see properties that are for sale in Prospect. Add media, literally just found a picture of a house, threw an ad on top or threw the logo on it. Chose his Facebook page, lead generation form, learn more, and copied and pasted this URL as his destination. Ran the ad in Prospect, 25-kilometer radius. So he did get some leads that they're like, I don't want to live in Prospect. I live in Dartmouth and like never plan on leaving Dartmouth. But they happened to click on the ad, which is weird. I don't know why they would click on an ad that says make Prospect home if they have zero interest. They don't even know where Prospect is, but they're still a lead. And guess what? Alex can sell them a house in Dartmouth. Doesn't matter. And then duration and budget. So he ran it for 10 days.
So I have a question.
$30.
How did he get somebody who was living in Dartmouth to click on his ad that he was running in Prospect?
I think as the crow flies, 25 kilometers would reach Dartmouth.
Yeah, because it's a 25 kilometers straight line from Prospect covers the entire peninsula, all Dartmouth and out towards Sackville.
Okay.
And also if they were out, like if they were at their friend's house in Clayton Park and then came into the radius, and were scrolling through their Facebook, they would see the ad then. So that's an idea of something that you can run when you don't have a listing. Again, I'm not going to lie, it does not perform as well, but at least you're getting leads. Another one that he ran was, what was this one? Oh, a free home buying seminar. And I think he advertised it as virtual because it was during COVID. Yeah, he ran it in May. So like a virtual home buying seminar. We don't have to meet in person. You can be sitting in your living room, like things like that. Again, that one didn't perform very well, but 3 leads is better than 0 leads. And he only spent $10. So any questions?
I have a comment.
Yeah.
So for everybody who's finding this very useful, I strongly recommend that you either check out the YouTube page and find some past training we did on smart plans, or stay tuned to the emails and we'll be having some smart plans training coming up shortly. The reason why that's important, to Alex's point earlier, these are very cold leads. So when you get them in your database, now you have to nurture them. My experience is that a conversion rate on leads is like 2 or 3%. So you need about 100 leads to get 2 or 3 deals. But if you have smart plans created, and you can do all of that within Command, once they come in, you can put them on a smart plan and continue to nurture them. And it doesn't sound like a big conversion rate, but if you're getting 20 leads off one ad, you run 5 ads, you've got 100 leads, you should have 3 or 4 deals in there, 2 or 3 at the very least. So this is a great first step in capturing leads, and I strongly recommend everybody come back or go on the YouTube channel to watch the smart plans training, because that's just another step that'll take this one step further.
Yeah, thank you, Phil. And another thing I wanted to add, so I've only been focusing on this column here, how many leads we got and what those leads cost. If we look at this one, almost 4,000 people saw this ad. So that's 4,000, or I shouldn't say 4,000 people. This ad was seen almost 4,000 times. So that is, let's say, 3,000 people who had Alex's name in their phone, in their face. So if they start thinking about it, about moving or buying or selling, and they start looking for real estate agents and they see Alex's name again, they're like, oh, I've heard of him, right? Like, it's still getting your name out there, whether you're actually getting a lead from it or not. You still want to be recognized. This ad also had 180 people click on it, but only 12 of those actually gave their information. But 180 people were interested enough to click on it to see what kind of information they could get. And then when they realized, oh, I have to give my information, they backed out. But that's 180 people who took time to click on this ad and saw his name even longer than the people who just scrolled by it. We all know how easy it is to click on ads when you're scrolling through Facebook. And then when they ask for information, you're like, oh, never mind, and you back out. So it's totally normal that that happens. People want information, but they don't like to give it. It's natural. It happens all the time. Any more questions or comments, concerns?
Just one more point to what I said earlier, Erin. This is really helpful. Thank you very much.
No worries.
But to Sven and everybody else, the link I posted will take you over to the Keller Williams YouTube page. And there is as much time as you want to spend teaching yourself about Command, you can on that YouTube channel. So if you haven't been there before, I strongly recommend it.
All right, well, if there's no questions, that's all that I have. Oh, one more thing I did want to mention. If you're running a Facebook ad, please download the Kelly app on your phone. Most of you should have it. You've all been told to download it, but you may have deleted it since you downloaded it. So the app is K-E-L-L-E. I don't love that app. I don't use it for anything, but whenever you get a Facebook lead, you do have to react quickly. And I know you're not sitting on your computer staring at Command, waiting for leads to come in. Kelly will give you a push notification on your phone every time you get a lead. So that will prompt you to follow up with that lead instantly.
And we have app training too.
Yeah.
Good stuff, Erin, Phil, Alex, thank you so much. It was awesome.
Thanks.
I guess it's another form, whether you have an ad in the real estate book or a billboard, it's people, if they see your face often, I mean, I used to advertise a lot on TV way back when, before you were all in real estate. And I'd go to the mall and be buying something, and the person, the clerk would say, "Oh, I know you. I've seen you. You're on TV," right? So it's recognition. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, and hopefully,
It does work. I mean, I was told like not long after I got into the industry, like because I didn't have my face on my signs or my cards, and I was told by one of our agents like get your face on everything.
yeah,
People will start recognizing you, and it is true. We were four-wheeling last year. We were way back in the woods and stopped with some other bikers, and the guy recognized me from just around the community on signs and stuff.
yeah, it's pretty cool. And then you start a relationship, and before you know it, they become your client and they work with you. So it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you. Awesome.
Awesome. Glad you guys liked it. Hopefully, I will start seeing your ads now.
Are you looking for a realtor, Aaron?
Soon.
Too funny.
I think I'm going to be giving a bigger discount than you will.
Yeah, fair enough.
Have
All
a
right. Thanks,
good
guys.
day. Bye. Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.